This tool turns you into a Hollywood-level filmmaker without owning a camera, and I'm about to show you how. In the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through how this new AI filmmaking tool works inside Higgsfield. And by the end, you'll know how to create cinematic videos that actually look like you have talent. So let's jump straight in. What you're looking at here is Cinema Studio inside Higgsfield. And this is easily one of the biggest upgrades we've seen in generative AI so far. Most AI tools ask you to write a prompt and hope the output looks good. Cinema Studio works differently. It gives you control, real control, the kind filmmakers obsess over. The big idea here is simple. Instead of typing vague prompts and crossing your fingers, you build your shot step by step. You start with an image, then you choose the camera, then you choose the lens. Each choice changes the final look in a very specific way. That's why people are joking that this feels like becoming an AI version of Christopher Nolan. Not because it makes explosions, but because it forces you to think like a director. Here's the basic workflow before we touch anything. First, you either upload an image or generate one from scratch. Second, you pick a high-end camera body. Third, you choose the lens and focal length. That's it. Those 3 steps move you from random AI visuals to cinematic control. Right now, I'm inside Higgsfield. I click into Cinema Studio, and the first thing I do is switch from video to image using the toggle at the top. This is important. You always want to start with an image so you can lock in the composition before adding motion. Once you're in image mode, you'll see a few standard settings. There's the prompt box where you describe the scene. Keep it clear and visual. Say what's happening, who's there, and the mood. Then there's batch size. This just means how many versions you want at once. If you want options, increase it. If you want speed, keep it low. Resolution is here too. Higher resolution means more detail, but it takes longer, so balance that based on what you need. One thing to know up front is the aspect ratio. Cinema Studio currently generates images in a 21:9 cinematic ratio. That wide look you see in movies. You don't need to change anything. Just know everything you create will already feel cinematic before you even try. Now comes one of the most important choices you'll make. The camera body. This sets the base look of your shot. Think of it like choosing the personality of the image. If you pick the red V Raptor, you're going to get a super sharp, highly detailed look. Every texture pops. This is great when you want things to feel crisp and modern. Sony Venice is also very sharp, but it feels more like a professional default. Clean, balanced, and reliable. A lot of productions use this look because it works in almost any situation. IMAX is where things get intense. This is the camera Christopher Nolan loves, and it shows. The sharpness and detail are on another level. Shots feel massive and immersive. If you want something that feels epic, this is the one. Ari? Alexa is the opposite in a good way. It gives you that classic Hollywood feel. The image looks natural and realistic without being too sharp. It's the kind of look people associate with real movies. Ari Flex pushes things darker. The colors feel deeper, and there's a noticeable film grain. This is perfect for moody scenes or dramatic storytelling. Panavision Millennium DXL2 sits right in the middle. Rich details, great colors, and a very cinematic feel without going extreme in any direction. Once the camera is set, lenses are where the scene really comes alive. First, you choose between spherical and anamorphic. Spherical lenses are clean and normal. What you see is what you get. Anamorphic lenses squeeze the image and give you that classic cinematic look with special flares and background blur. Now let's talk specific lenses. The Petzval lens adds a swirl around the edges of the frame. The subject stays sharp, but the background feels dreamy and artistic. It's great when you want something stylized. The Canon K35 gives you a brighter image with strong light flares. It feels energetic and bold. If your scene has lights in it, this lens really shows them off. The JDC Xtal Express is an anamorphic lens that adds realistic lens flares without looking fake. It's subtle, but it makes the shot feel expensive. Panavision C-series lenses are classic anamorphic lenses, wide, cinematic, and known for those blue streak flares you see in big movies. Focal length is the final piece here. An 8mm lens is super wide. You'll see distortion at the edges, which makes it great for POV-style shots or dramatic angles. A 24mm lens is a safe choice. It's wide but still natural, with a bit of background blur. A 50mm lens is extremely versatile. It works for portraits and landscapes and creates strong background blur that makes subjects stand out. At this point, you've built a cinematic image on purpose. Now, let's turn it into a video. I switched the toggle from image to video. Here's what's great. Instead of writing complicated movement prompts, Cinema Studio gives you movement presets. If you choose static, the camera doesn't move. Handheld adds a natural shake, like someone filming by hand. Zoom in or zoom out changes magnification without moving the camera. Dolly out actually moves the camera backward, which feels very different and adds depth. Orbiting rotates the camera around the subject, which instantly makes things feel dynamic. You also choose how long the clip is, 5 or 10 seconds. There are toggles for audio and slow motion if you want them. There's also an advanced option that's worth knowing. You can upload a start frame and an end frame. This tells the AI exactly how the scene should begin and end. When you do this, movement presets and audio turn off because the AI calculates motion on its own. You still guide it with text, like describing the camera whipping to the side or revealing something dramatic. This method gives you more control over progression, but it's a trade-off. You lose manual movement options, so it's best when you already know exactly what you want the scene to do. The best way to learn this is to experiment. Open Higgsfield, jump into Cinema Studio, and start creating videos that finally look like you planned them. What kind of videos will you make? Let me know in the comments. While you're there, check the description for some helpful resources that I've linked, and don't forget to like and subscribe.